Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter number 2, and we're going to look at verse number 11. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. For the next 3 Sundays, I want to kind of highlight a portion of the Christmas story, and particularly the gifts that the wise men presented to Jesus. And so we will be reading from the same verse for the next 3 Sundays, Matthew 2:11. And I want you to notice, first of all, before we get into the gifts, that when they finally found Jesus, he was a young child. He was no longer a baby. Contrary to popular belief and what is sometimes portrayed in the manger scene, the wise men were not at the manger when Jesus was born. All right, so the wise men took a little while before they were able to find Jesus. In fact, many believe that Jesus was probably around 2 years old when the wise men finally found Jesus and his family, and which is why Herod killed all the children 2 years and under, because it's been about a couple years since they visited King Herod and asked him where the Messiah was going to be, and Herod made them promise that they would come back and not promise, but ask them to come back and let him know once they found the Messiah. And of course, God warned the wise men, no, don't do that. Don't tell Herod anything. Just leave, skip town. And so they did. They followed God. But anyway, today I want to focus on that first gift, gold. Okay, gold. The wise men, when they came to Jesus, they presented him with gold. And that gold represents the royalty of who Jesus is. Because Jesus, even though at that time his stepfather, Joseph, was a poor carpenter, and Mary, it just sounds like Joseph and Mary just did not have a lot of money. Even though that was the case, nevertheless, these wise men knew who this child Jesus truly was, according to the scripture. He was the King of Kings. He still is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He is royalty. He is a king to be honored and to be reverenced. And in fact, when Jesus was crucified, Pilate even put the inscription, the King of the Jews. He was indeed the King of the Jews. And, he is the Messiah that the Jews were waiting for then and are still waiting for now. Even though at the moment they have rejected him, nevertheless, like it or not, he is their Messiah. And that means he is their king, because the Jews are looking for a king, a descendant of David, to take over the throne of David, but establish a kingdom that will never end. And so when we think of Jesus, more than just a child born in a lowly manger, we have to remember that he's a king, that he was royalty, and when we think of Christmas, think of a king being born on this planet, on this world, and not just the king of Israel, but the king of the world, the king of the universe. And someday when Jesus comes back, okay, and he brings his army with him, as it prophesies in Revelation, he will come as a king, and he will rule and reign upon this earth as the King of Kings in his rightful place. And so when we speak of Jesus, whether to other people or whether even when we are thinking about him to ourselves, remember the reverence that is due to Jesus as a king. And we have to be careful not to be irreverent, because a king deserves reverence, but even more so the King of Kings and the creator of the universe Jesus Christ. The wise men recognized that, and so should we. I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so looking forward to seeing you all in church. God bless you. We will see you soon. Bye-bye.